This video is showing you how to do the simultaneous equations that you would see on an additional maths paper as opposed to a GCSE paper. So first of all, I wanted to highlight the difference. On a GCSE paper, most of your simultaneous equations will set up like this. There may be a more difficult question that looks like this. Okay, I'm going to remind you of how to do this type 2, which we would call a twist question. However, if you need to remember how to do type 1, have a look at the videos in the GCSE revision folder. So first of all, with type 2, I want to set this equation up so that it is written in the same format if I'm doing GCSE. The method I'm going to show you today, though, is the substitution method, which is the preferred method for additional maths. So the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite this equation so I have y on one side and everything else on the other. So if I move the 5 from the right hand side to the left hand side, it will become a minus, so my y becomes 2x minus 5. Now some of you may prefer to write it like that. That is absolutely fine. What I'm going to do then, I'm going to take equation 1 at the top and I'm going to replace y in that equation with 2x minus 5. So my equation is 7x, and then I'm going to add in y, which I'm keeping it in brackets because there will be times when there's a coefficient of y and it will need to stay in the brackets. So there's my 7x, there's my y, and there's my 22. And then I'm going to simplify this left-hand side as much as I can. So adding the 7x and the 2x gives me 9x. Minus 5 is equal to 22. And from there, I'm just solving an equation. So adding the 5, I have that 9x is, and I'll write it out long just in case, 22 add 5. So 9x is 27, which means 1x is 3. And then I use my substitution. So I say when x is equal to 3, now I have an equation of y. Y is equal to 2 multiplied by 3, subtract 5. So I'm using that equation there, replacing the x with the value 3. So y, well 2 times 3 is 6, subtract 5, y is 1. So my answer is x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 1. Now on additional maths, you will see a lot of these style of equations, but there will also be some little tricks and sometimes one quadratic and one linear. So the first example I'm going to look at is one quadratic and one linear. All it means by a quadratic is there's an x squared term in there. There could be an x as well or not. This example is one of the easier ones because if you look at the left hand side, y is equal and y is equal. So that means that this must equal that. So the first thing I write down is that x squared plus x minus 2, which is the top equation, removing the y, is equal to the bottom, which is 2x plus 4. From there, I'm going to rearrange it into a quadratic. So I'm going to subtract everything on the right hand side from the left hand side. So the x squared stays the same. If I leave the whole of my left hand side the same, and then I'll be subtracting 2x and subtracting 4 from it to leave 0 on the right hand side. I then simplify the left hand side. So I have x squared, I've got a positive x, subtract 2x, which leaves me with minus x, minus 2, minus 4 gives me minus 6, and that is equal to 0. From there, you need to remember how to factorise your quadratics. Remember, you're looking for two numbers. When you multiply them, you get the answer minus 6. When you add them, you get minus 1, which is the coefficient of the x. So I've looked at that, and I've worked out the two numbers I need, a minus 3 and a positive 2, and that equals 0. So now, to finish the question, to find my x's, I say x minus 3 equals 0, or x plus 2 equals 0. So from that line down, that is just solving a quadratic equation. However, in these questions, you also need to find the value of y. So I'm going to use my second equation there. So x is 3, or x is minus 2. I'm going to use the second equation there and substitute in the values of x that I've worked out. Remember, you just move it over to the other side to change the sign. So when x is 3, my y is 2 times by 3, add 4. So 2 3s are 6, add 4 gives me a value of y is 10. Or the other option is when x is minus 2. So y is 2 times by minus 2, add 4. So 2 multiplied by minus 2 is minus 4. Add on 4 gives me my value 0. So my answers are x is 3, y is 10, or x is minus 2, which would give y equal to 0. So this next example would be